Golden light filters through an ancient hall as an elderly mentor tells a boy he is glad they are destined to learn together. The elder figure announced he would now teach the wonderful path to longevity. Lee, a young man with dark hair, meditates beneath a radiant golden Buddha as three others silently yearn for long life and happiness. The wise and knowledgeable elder revealed the great truth of longevity, adding that he had explained it as simply as possible. All three shouted together that they couldn't understand a single word. Lee gently pats the young girl's head, telling everyone they should reflect and return for the next session if they want to understand true results. Then three figures watched the pouring rain from their shelter as villagers hurried home, calling out that they would return to hear more stories another day. Two men, one younger with a black beard and one older with white hair, stood together as the younger asked if the master's orders changed everything, and the older agreed. Lee, a young man with dark hair, stood alone in the rain and said he regretted forgetting his umbrella. A young man with a ponytail raised his hand and shouted that the sudden heavy rain was too troublesome, demanding it stop immediately. Lee gestured with determination, while the two older men reacted in shock and wondered if he was really trying to command the rain to stop. 10 miles away, a secluded house stood hidden among dense trees beneath a cloudy sky. A small white figure with glowing blue eyes stood beside a large, watchful dog, as both turned sharply at a sudden noise in the woods. A gigantic golden dragon erupted from the river as the small robot, anxious, wondered aloud what he should do while the cat watched alertly. Both figures stared at the sky, anxious as they worried the master would be angry about the carp escaping. A radiant staircase stretched upward, disappearing into bright clouds as soft light bathed everything in a hopeful glow. A thoughtful young man stands quietly outside, wondering aloud if it's really a sunny day. Lee, a contemplative young man, stands with his back to us and gazes quietly at the endless blue sky. Lee's looking relieved beneath a pink sky, heard two furious elders shout that nobody could believe Master Lee wasn't an immortal now. A young scholar rushed forward, excitedly calling out for Master Lee, while Lee turned in surprise and asked why he had appeared again. An eager young man rushed up with a book, asking if Lee would let his story spread, and then requested his name, making Lee uneasy. Lee, arms crossed and frustrated, told the young man to write Wu as the author instead of him. Still, the reflective young man sat down, quietly admitting to himself that he had just realized something important again. Lee watched as the small figure rushed away, promising in a flustered voice to fix the mistake and edit the story immediately. Wu, an elderly and wise man, confirmed his name while the young woman praised Master Lei for his remarkable abilities. Lee, a confident man, told the elders he thought Journey to the West was an excellent name and would make waves among immortals. The four admirers praised Master Lee for his independence, while Lee, confused and sweating, wondered what exactly they meant by their comments. The young woman apologized to Lee, explaining she needed to leave soon and felt sorry for focusing all her attention on Nan Nan lately. Lee smiled outdoors and invited her to visit his house as a guest next time. A cheerful young woman with brown hair waved to the group, suggesting they should all hunt some game and eat together. A serious older man explained to Luo Xiang that Master Li's hint involved monsters, while a frustrated young man insisted they misunderstood the message. A confident woman with black hair announced she would kill several powerful demons and present them to Master Li. A woman with silver hair proposed they hunt the Tiger Demon King, while others agreed it would make a powerful tonic, and an older man voiced caution. A cunning woman with half her face in shadow thought that pleasing Master Lei would make defeating the Demon King seem trivial. A shadowed woman smirked, claiming she could handle any number, while another calmly explained to Uncle that the Saintess's true nature was unexpected. Far across the land, Mount Tiger rose beneath a serene sky as tiger-like warriors scaled its cliffs, and a regal beast watched from his throne. An alert, dog-like figure narrowed his eyes, responding with a suspicious sound. A muscular anthropomorphic tiger with a serious expression sits on a throne as an unseen voice asks what is on his head. Outside a traditional building, a cheerful young man with dark hair shakes out a cloth, enjoying the calm morning air. A young man with a ponytail glanced at the door, saying he was coming after hearing someone knock. Two elders stand calmly as the two-headed wolf, three-tailed lion, and huge-type tiger lie defeated at their feet. An elderly man in beige respectfully offered a fresh gift from the woods, explaining it was a token of gratitude for Lee. Lee held the wooden ring tightly, worriedly admitting that in his old life, something like this would have meant spending years behind bars. A woman in an apron burst out with delight, declaring that coming to this realm was the best thing that ever happened to her. The cheerful woman walked off, dragging 3 dead animals behind her as she told everyone to sit while she prepared the next meal. A young woman in a pink apron dashed through the room, considering how to keep the cultivators entertained after receiving their generous gifts. The young woman clapped her hands, suggesting with excitement that everyone should eat hot pot shabu-shabu. 2 plates of rolled meat glistened on the table, promising a comforting meal ahead. Colorful bundles of vegetables, tied with bright red strips, sat in perfect rows on the plates, ready for the next course. A yin-yang hot pot gleamed on the table as a cheerful young man praised and called everyone to eat. Lee, a young man with dark hair, glanced up with a puzzled look, quietly wondering what had just happened. An elderly man with a mustache blurted out that he simply couldn't understand what was happening, leaving the whole group frozen in confusion. A woman with silver hair asked why the meat looked so strange, while Lei said he found the dessert adorable. The elderly man with a mustache stared at the glowing Tai Kai symbol in the pot, telling everyone he recognized the intention of yin and yang. A wise elder explained that the mystical pot splits into soup and nourishing the earth through a cycle of refinement and renewal, and called it amazing. Lee, unimpressed, thought to himself that it was just a pot and found these cultivators amusing. A cheerful young man with dark hair called everyone over, saying it was time to eat together beneath the tree. The 2 women stared at the unfamiliar dishes, one nervously asking how they were supposed to eat something like this. A confident young man with dark hair gestured with his chopsticks, telling everyone to follow him and promising to show them something. Lee encouraged them to pick up a piece of meat with their chopsticks and try it for themselves. The blue-haired girl quietly repeated the steps, saying she should put the food in the pot and dip it in sauce when it's cooked. She added that the next step was to eat it. Both women stood shoulder to shoulder, their gazes locked forward with unwavering determination in the shadows. Suddenly, molten lava burst from the volcano as 2 ethereal women appeared among flowers and ribbons, capturing the shocked attention of onlookers. Both girls sampled the dish together, unable to hold back excited cries about how delicious it tasted. A man with long white hair watched the scene, remarking that the 2 women showed no hesitation in their enthusiasm. A cautious elderly man reached for a vegetable with his chopsticks, saying he should eat less meat, but something about it instantly shocked him. The elderly man with flowing white hair paused, saying he could sense a Taoist essence in the vegetables. A young man with dark hair held out a fresh vegetable, explaining with pride that he had grown all of them himself as the elders listened. Someone off-screen encouraged the elderly man to eat more vegetables, saying it would be good for his health and might even help him live longer. Suddenly, a shocked man's eye widened as he reacted to something unexpected. Lei solemnly weighed the bowl in his hand and said he believed eating these vegetables could help him break through. The group spoke with awe, saying they believed Master Lei possessed abilities beyond ordinary people. Clouds drifted between towering peaks as birds circled above the mist. Suddenly, trees splintered in quick succession as a determined animal pressed its paw firmly into the grass. Then 2 shadowy wolf-like creatures stared ahead with glowing eyes, their presence silent and unsettling in the blue-lit gloom. Sunlight filtered through the leaves as a majestic fox with 9 tails sat peacefully beside an inquisitive pup, calm settling over the clearing. On the sun-dappled path, a concerned young man warned his sister that transforming without caution could scatter her soul with a single mistake. The white fox, calm and mysterious, gazed quietly into the distance as the sky stretched wide behind it. Facing her sister in the shaded clearing, the concerned white fox asked if she truly believed she was lucky enough to survive what was coming. The larger fox-like creature warned its companion that surviving would not be enough as they walked beneath the bright forest sky. The large, multi-tailed creature warned the small white dog that losing a whole year of cultivation meant starting completely over from the beginning. The cautious older white fox warned the distressed younger one that if she transformed outside, she could be captured or have her demon pill stolen. The smaller white wolf nuzzled its larger companion, who reminded him to rely on protection before firmly announcing that their time had run out. A white fox-like creature launched itself upward, crying out desperately for its sister as the flying multi-tailed fox soared just out of reach. The fierce white wolf gathered its resolve, announcing that even knowing the risks, the transformation had to be finished. The white fox declared it needed to take human form so it could remain by its master's side and repay the debt of being saved. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning crashed through the storm, splitting the forest in a blinding flash. Rain pelted the mountains as a young man with dark hair trudged through the trees, grumbling loudly about the weather ruining his day. Then Lee sprinted along the muddy forest path as rain hammered down, his footsteps echoing in the storm. Lee cried out in shock as lightning struck dangerously close, nearly dropping his bundle of firewood in the pouring rain. Inside the dark cave, Lee trembled and wondered aloud if thunder this fierce meant the world was coming to an end. Lee, alert and surprised, glanced sideways and mentioned that there was something else to consider. Lee watched the lightning gather in one spot and quietly wondered why all the thunder seemed focused there. Lightning split the sky as two men argued about the fox demon's transformation, one doubting her actions while the other fixated on seizing the demon pill. Water droplets clung to a trembling leaf, silent as the cliffs loomed behind. A pink-haired girl lies beneath a glowing tree, lost in quiet thought as swirling light drifts above her. She sits quietly among the trees, pink hair catching the dappled sunlight as glowing ribbons of light swirl gently around her. Suddenly, the pink-haired girl jerked her head in shock, sensing someone unexpected nearby. She peered through the bushes, watching closely as something moved deeper in the forest. A young man with dark hair searched through the bushes, muttering that the firewood was wet and his walk had been pointless, before something caught his attention. Lee and the pink-haired woman locked eyes in the forest, both frozen in shock as they recognized one another. Lee blushed and quickly covered his face, stammering that he had just seen a beautiful girl. Lee clenched his fists and declared that the revival of would bring disaster to the country and its people. The pink-haired girl hesitated under the tree and softly began to say a name. The pink-haired girl thought about how lucky she was, quietly admitting she had changed and met her savior once more. A wounded seven-tailed fox recalled being gravely injured by cultivators 3 years ago. Lee, a young man with dark hair, knelt beside the injured fox and silently reached out, offering gentle comfort. The white fox-like creature revealed a healing scar as it reflected that not only had its body healed, but it took only 3 years. A luminous fox radiated determination as it declared that its 9th tail was about to grow. A pink-haired woman clasped her hands and quietly expressed her gratitude for being transformed and reunited with her savior. Then a man with long hair started removing his clothes as the pink-haired woman cried out in shock, calling him her savior. The young woman with pink hair stared ahead, her voice trembling as she asked what the other person planned to do next. Lee gently draped a blue cloak over the surprised young woman as she quietly wondered what he was doing. Lee smiled gently and reassured the unseen listener that he meant no harm, promising they would be safe. Lee carried the pink-haired woman on his back, explaining softly that she was weak and he would take her for treatment. 2 arrows sliced through the dense forest as a shadowy figure with glowing eyes watched silently from the bushes. A white fox with 9 tails and red horns glared through the trees and called its unseen target a horrid mortal. Lee listened quietly as his pink-haired sister leaned against him and explained that although she survived, her lifeline was irreparably broken. The pink-haired woman leaned in and told Lee that the patient was barely hanging on and could not survive another month. A serious-looking wolf with red markings accused a man, saying his sister would not have transformed or died if not for that man's actions. A menacing voice vowed to send Lei to the graveyard before his sister's time ran out. Immortal cultivators darted through the dense forest, while a woman with long red hair tracked glowing energy lines stretching toward the distant mountains. The red-haired woman said quietly that Master Lei could be found at that location. A woman with a bun glanced anxiously outside and asked if her companion had just seen the thunder. The red-haired woman warned that the demon pill would draw dangerous attention and worried it could disturb Master Li's rest if violence broke out. Inside the ornate hall, a distressed woman insisted she couldn't allow the situation to unfold, while another woman asked her father why the expert mattered so much. A serious man in a ceremonial headdress ordered to follow, while the others nervously agreed that Master Li's comfort was their highest concern. A confident woman stepped forward and announced they would settle the matter right here, claiming she spoke on behalf of the expert. Two glowing spheres hovered above the mountains as one figure congratulated Old Man on his breakthrough, crediting the expert's vegetables for the achievement. A calm man with long dark hair raised two fingers and remarked they were in the same situation as Old Man. Moments later, two elders summoned swirling energy, as one suggested they compete to see who could chase away the most flies around the glowing symbol. Suddenly, a massive explosion tore through the mountains as panicked voices shouted for help and demanded to know where the attack had come from. Li, protective and concerned, told the pink-haired girl she could relax because his place was safe and hidden from others. Then Lei reassured the pink-haired girl, explaining that the thunder likely hadn't finished and that his secluded home would keep them safe. A concerned girl offered healing, while the pink-haired girl smiled and replied that she would listen to her master and accept the help. A young woman with a warm smile invited her guest to rest and suggested she could stay with her if she had nowhere else to go. The girl blushed and said she would listen to her master. Li asked the pink-haired girl for her name, growing frustrated when she insisted she would simply obey her master instead of answering. The pink-haired girl hesitated, nervously asking if she was allowed to do something. Li, a young man in traditional clothes, suddenly realized something important and gasped in disbelief. A young maid with downcast eyes clung to her pillow, bowing in sorrow before the broken mask as the wealthy onlookers remained indifferent. A desperate, short-haired woman dragged herself through the dirt, robbed and badly wounded by strangers, with no safe place left to go. Lei stared in disbelief, his voice breaking as he called the story unbelievably pitiful. Li wondered aloud if saving her made him her savior, and thought she might repay him if he treated her well. Li gently rested his hand on the girl's shoulder and told her she could trust him to look after her from now on. Lei gently offered the girl a name, saying he would call her Dayi if she didn't have one. The pink-haired girl repeated to herself that Dayi was the name her master had given her. The pink-haired girl spoke up, saying she would listen to her master. A woman with brown hair flung open the doors, saying she would go prepare the medicine as the other woman looked on in surprise. Li, a young man with dark hair, wondered nervously if being alone with a girl would make him seem frivolous. Li admitted he felt nervous, but reassured himself that his friendliness must have been clear. The young woman ran out toward the garden, calling back that she would get the medicine ready. Li sat alone in the quiet room, drawing his robe as the silence stretched around him. A girl with long pink hair breathes out softly, looking content as she relaxes on the couch by the window. The young woman with pink hair smiled softly and murmured a name under her breath, her hand pressed gently to her chest. Two figures faced each other on the sandy ground, tension thick in the space between them. Two elderly men stood together beneath the trees, and the grateful one said they could not have held back the immortal cultivators without the others' help. The confident young woman with long dark hair told the seniors their interests were aligned. The two elders and the young woman joined hands. Then one of them said their united strength kept wild fishes below the OBE stage from approaching Master Lei. The young woman asked the group who they meant by wild fishes. Li, regal in his golden headdress, stands composed in the tranquil garden as a cheerful admirer watches him from behind. A young man with wide eyes called out that the Holy King himself had arrived, leaving the two men beside him reeling in disbelief. If you'd like to see your favorite titles retold, leave a comment and I'll be sure to pick some of them up from time to time. Also, let me know which video format you like more, long videos or short ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon.